Huge shout out to all of my patrons, new and old, and my fine tool partners.
Now it's time to make a hot wall. Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you are having an awesome day. So this is going to be another SketchUp tutorial. We're going to build upon the kitchen cabinetry that we have made in prior tutorials past, and we'll just kind of add to it. We'll make a hot wall to start out with, so we'll be importing stove, vent-a-hood, things of that nature from the 3D warehouse, and then we'll continue the next time making the wet wall. So if this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. If you like SketchUp tutorials like this, or even project build videos in woodworking, or I don't know, anything else that I might get my hands into, you want to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell. It'll notify you when I upload brand new content. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this one. Let's get busy.
All right, so we're back at the kitchen cabinetry build that we started a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's been about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And we've got the upper cabinet made, and we got the lower cabinet made. Now, I am going to model this to look like a hot wall for a kitchen. So what we're going to do first, we need to finish out the fronts of these cabinets. So what I've done, and this is something that you can do to help you save time if you model up things on a regular basis, and that is prep a file that has many different types of doors and drawers that you can just import into your existing file right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a screen over here that has saved several different types of doors that I have made. This one is a shaker style, and it includes the tongue and groove joinery just like a router bit would make. This one is a raised panel that has the molding on the outside as well as the inside, and then of course the raised panel that also has a rabbited back to fit in the groove. This one is a shaker style glass door, and then this one is the Roman OG, or a actually this is a roundover. Yeah, this is a roundover door. You can make a Roman OG one if you like. I haven't done it yet, but whatever you like, you can keep in here. If you want this to be exact, then go ahead and make you another Roman OG door. But this one is just a classic roundover glass door. And then they have the rabbited backs for the glass, both doors. And then I also saved one of the drawers from my previous tutorial that has the dovetail sides. Now, if you don't want the dovetails, you can save another one that has lock joinery or pocket hole, whatever you like, and save those in here as well. So all you have to do is highlight them, copy them, and then import them into the other file. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. As long as you have both files open, which I do, we'll just start with importing. Let's just do the raised panel because it's got more detail and things like that to play with. And you can save this as a group like that, or you can save it as a component, doesn't matter. I may just do it as a component, so I'll just Control Z that back out and highlight everything back again. Save as a component, and I'll just call it raised panel door, and then I'll copy it just by highlighting it blue like that and hit Command C or Control C if you're on Windows, and I'll go back to my kitchen, and then I'll just hit Control V for paste, or Command V if you're on Mac, and I'll just snap it to a corner right there. And I'll just go over here and snap it appropriately. Grab that corner, pull it out to here. And I'm actually going to make these a full overlay door, so they just have to be on the outside of the cabinet. So I'll just snap it to that corner. I want a 1/2 inch overlay, so we'll drag it up another 1/2 inch. And then a 1/2 inch this way. And if you have any clearance issues with your crown molding, you can go ahead and move that up as well. So I'll do that real fast, because obviously whenever I made this, I didn't quite put it in the right spot. So I'll just take it up a half an inch, or excuse me, an eighth of an inch. So that way I have good clearance with my door. So I have a half-inch overlay up top, half-inch overlay on the side. So now I need to basically increase the size of this door. And if you remember the manipulation tutorial that I did, I'll put a link right over here. It shows you how to manipulate the sizes of an already made door or drawer front or anything like that without having to make a brand new one. So I advise you, if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and check it out. And let me manipulate the sizes of these doors, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I went ahead and added the 2 upper doors, the 2 lower doors, and a new drawer front. And I did not have the drawer front saved on my drawer and cabinet door file, so I went ahead and made one for that as well and imported it into the file so I can save it later and always have it ready to go when I need it. And I can go ahead and make a drawer front for the shaker style and keep that as well. And anytime that you make things that you're going to be using over and over again, just import them into this file and save them. So let me go back to the kitchen remodel. And what I want to do now is take this entire setup, highlight it, and then I'm going to copy it and move it over. Let's actually grab the corner and snap it to that corner, which is 32 inches. I want to add another 30 inches to that, maybe another 32, because a standard size for an oven / stove is 30 inches. So give it a little bit of leeway, maybe an inch on each side, maybe a half inch depending on. And we can make this, let's see, 32 and 32 is 64, so let's do 63. Okay. So that should give us 31 inches, yep, between the two. And what we need to do now is import a stove / oven to go in that space. Let's go into the 3D warehouse and just grab a stove real fast. Let's go stove, and we'll see what pops up. Now, not all of these are made to scale, but the beauty of SketchUp, you can change it to your needs and sizes that you have. So just pick something that's fairly similar to what you want. This one might be all right. It's a black one. It'll stand out against the white, so let's import that. Just hit download and say OK. Go into model. And it's flipped around the other way, of course. So let's flip along the green to bring it forward. And like I said, you notice that it's not made to scale. So that's just something you'll have to fix. And you can do that with the scale, which is S on your keyboard. And let's just increase the height. You do that by going to the center green square, not this one, because that will scale it. If you notice, the dotted line goes from front edge to back bottom edge, and it won't scale it. It'll actually pull it in 2 different directions. I just want to go in one direction, so we'll scale it up to where it's right around the top of the countertop and drop it there. And let's pull it out to where it's right around the front of the countertop. Now, if you know the dimensions of your stove, great. You can use those to help you out. Generally, stoves are around the front of a countertop, if not sticking out a little bit further. And that's just something that you can figure out for yourself, how big you want to make your cabinet depths. If you have something that you, oops, I hit the wrong key. If you have something that extends past the countertop and you don't want it to, you really can't change the size of the appliance, but you can change the size of your cabinets. So increasing your cabinet depth to accommodate a pretty deep stove will also benefit you. I'm going to pull this back to where it's right around the front of, let's see, let's do it a little bit more out. Eyeball it. There we go. You can snap them to corners, or you can just eyeball it. This one looks like it's made to scale as far as width goes. Let's see. Yep, it's 30 inches. So I will just increase it by a 1/2 inch. No, not increase. Move it over by a 1/2 inch. There we go. That's just using my move tool there. So now I have a 1/2 inch on either side of the stove. Now, another thing too, and I didn't think of this whenever I copied. I made an overhang here on this cabinet, and it's increasing my width. So I'm actually going to flip this particular cabinet to where it's flush like the one that I copied, because I actually did it flush over here, and I didn't think of that whenever I copied this. So let's hide the stove and just highlight that cabinet and flip it along the red axis. There we go. Now that put the flush part right up against the stove, so it looks so much better there. Okay. So there we go. We got our stove in place. That was really fast using the 3D warehouse. So you can make a cabinet here to go over your stove, or if you want a classic Vent-A-Hood, let's go back into the warehouse and look for one. Here we go, right here. That looks pretty cool. But there's tons in here. Some that are made out of wood, some that are bolted to the cabinet, you know, like the little more retro style. I mean, there's all kinds. I just urge you to go through the warehouse and see what you like. Look at that one right there. That one's pretty cool. Looks like crown molding. But let's just grab this stainless steel one right here. And we'll throw it into the model. It looks like it's sideways, so let's turn it where my, let me go up here. Need my plus marks. There we go. Let's rotate it that way, 90 degrees. Grab it at a corner. Guess it doesn't really matter. Back out, and let's just snap it to the top of the cabinet just so I can get it located. Now, as you can tell, it's going into my cabinets a little bit. This is something you're going to have to figure out for yourself, how far apart your cabinets need to be if your Vent-A-Hood is too big. In the model, that is, you can just size it to the dimensions of your Vent-A-Hood that you purchase. And the easiest way to do that is just use some tape measure lines. If you know that it's supposed to be 30 inches, then you can snap you a line from the center of the Vent-A-Hood to 15 inches this way, and then 15 inches this way, and then shrink it using the scale tool that we just did on the stove. And that way you'll know that your Vent-A-Hood in the model is precisely the same size as the one you purchased. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to shrink it down to what it needs to be, kind of fit in this model. I'll just leave the height alone. I'm not sure exactly what standard is on these things. Can't see my square, so let's hide my door. Maybe that'll bring it out. There it is. Okay, let's size it to the cabinet there. Now I've got a gap and I'm flush right up here, so let's just measure this gap and then split the difference. 1 3/30. Okay. So the easiest way to do that is move it over 0.5 inches. That's the half of the 1, and then 3/32 is 3/64. So 3/64. There we go. That just split the difference right there. All right. So now we got our Vent-A-Hood in place, and we have our oven in place. So there you go. Quick, easy way to manipulate all of the models that we have made in the past, also utilizing the 3D warehouse to import items that maybe we don't want to model up ourselves, but since they're already done, you can manipulate them using the scale tool to bring them to the appropriate size that you need.
So that wraps it up for the hot wall. Be sure and tune in next time where we make the wet wall. We're going to be installing refrigerator, a sink, and we'll probably just make it in a galley style type kitchen. So we're basically going to take those cabinets and put them on the other side. And maybe we'll connect them with possibly a sink on maybe an L shape, make a U-shaped kitchen, something like that. We'll figure it out as we go. If you have any suggestions, comments, or tips, drop them down below. I'd love to hear them. And if you want to see other videos that I have done in the past, you can check them out right over there. And be sure and click that subscribe circle that you see in the middle. It's got my pretty mug right there. So I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later. Boom!